This boy, he's a midnight driver, high roller and a soul survivor. She tried to send him on his way. He said, hey.
I won't say they're the greatest band of the 1970s, although they're certainly one of them. But they're certainly the most underrated great band of the 1970s, without a doubt.
This girl's on the road to know.
10cc are like the 70s Beatles. And that might sound pompous, but I think they were an amazing combination of talent. Four brilliant songwriters, brilliant producers, all in their own right, with amazing ideas, incredible creativity.
So the tapes have sat in my wardrobe for the last 15 to 20 years, and it's only now that we need to dig them out and find out what's on there.
To have the opportunity of sticking them in an oven when we really don't know what we're doing, taking an enormous risk with tapes that no one in the world outside Strawberry Studios has ever heard. There's a real kind of an exciting feeling of danger and jeopardy. I have to say that today I'm absolutely shitting myself.
Well, maybe you don't need to bake them at all, but we're erring on the side that you can't effectively do any damage if you do bake a tape, or at least we believe you can't, so we're baking them anyway. So it started off scientific, and now it's not quite as scientific as it was initially.
Wouldn't it be so funny if it was something really stupidly rare?
And this has never been heard. This is something that people are aware of, but no one has ever found the ad that it was supposedly part of. So it's the last but one recording that the original lineup ever made, and it's right at the moment where the band is starting to fragment. So it's got a real interesting place in history, whatever we find on the tape.
Having a physical thing that was recorded by four of my heroes is just unbelievably joyous. Yeah, so this is it. This is where history's made, Rob. My heart's going. Oh God. Oh, it's terrible out. Some of the cheaper cars are going backwards. Rob, it's dawn. You don't know what I'm talking about, do you?
I do a little bit, yeah.
Liar. I mean, I bet you've never even heard of 10cc, have you?
Only when you told me about it.
Okay, so nothing at all then.
For me, 10cc are a completely unique band, and they're a unique band because of having four such strong talents within it. I mean, a lot of bands have a signature sound. You know, they've got a front man, they've got a songwriter, they've got a guitarist that gives them a sound. You know, 10cc had four songwriters, four vocalists, four multi-instrumentalists, four producers, even had their own engineer in Eric Stewart, and all with very different influences. So what that created for me was some of the most adventurous, imaginative recordings that have ever been committed to tape. And because they had their own studio at the time, they were really pushing the boundaries around sort of recording and production.
We have had a great time, Sean and I, meeting with not only members of the band, and obviously that was a real thrill, but also some of the people that you don't hear about who were nevertheless involved in the story, and they all have something to bring. And I feel it's a kind of social history, or part of a social history that we're working on, and it's tremendous fun.
We're two middle-aged music geeks having an awful lot of fun talking about a great band, but it's kind of gone beyond that. It's now into the universe of the very essence of music and music's impact on people, the people that made the music, the people behind the music. And one of the best things has been meeting great people like Peter Wadsworth and Liam Newton, who each have made enormous contributions to the 10cc world.
10cc fan first and foremost, buying the records in the 70s when I was growing up in Stockport. But my interest this time is more from a Strawberry Studios angle. 10cc were Strawberry Studios, and Strawberry Studios was 10cc. So to have the chance of listening to something that they did in there that's not been heard before, historically interests me.
Strawberry Studios, owned by Eric and Pete and Graham, it was the best studio outside London.
I think it's kind of vital in understanding Strawberry's history that we perhaps have a sneaky peek into the major band who used Strawberry, 10cc's kind of outputs that isn't just on an album or on a single.
Have you had nerds like us before standing by this window?
Yeah, fabulous.
Are we looking longingly into the mid-distance?
Yeah. Hello mate, how you doing?
Oh, yeah, fine. How's the journey going?
Oh, it's great, thanks. We're just literally pulling into Salford now. So, and it's a lot drier up here than it was down south, I can tell you that. Phoned the host when we arrived, and he said, oh, we're not letting out our flat anymore. Bastards. So, we're going somewhere else now. Oh, fuck's sake.
Well, I've been a lifelong 10cc fan, really, ever since the age of about 9, when I first heard the original soundtrack album, and have loved them ever since, and have always felt they were the kind of unsung heroes of British pop music. So I ended up writing a book about it because there was an absence of books about the band at the time, and had the great pleasure of being able to meet and interview Eric Stewart and Graham Gouldman and Kevin Godley. Never managed to quite get Lol Cream for an interview, but that's my place. I'm the author of The Worst Band in the World, which is the biography of 10cc.
I'm the guardian of a number of things that are part of Strawberry's history. So they came as part of the Strawberry archive that came to me from various people. Peter Tattersall, who started the studio, has handed over a number of things. So the tapes have sat in my wardrobe for the last 15 to 20 years. And it's only now that we need to dig them out and find out what's on there.
Peter was explaining all these really fascinating exhibits, these knickknacks and memorabilia and so on. And some of the exhibits were tape boxes. And of course, Paul and I have got a fascination for these things. And he mentioned, and this is the first time we'd heard mention of this thing, an advert for Revlon. And to our amazement, Peter said he still had the tape.
I love Natural Wonder because it lights up my looks in a natural way.
Light up your looks in a whole new natural way with Natural Wonder.
Wonderful.
Paul and my ears really pricked up because he mentioned this Revlon tape. And you can see, we were craning our necks forward. An advert that 10cc had recorded back in 1976. He said that he actually had the tape. And we couldn't believe this. And it's hilarious. Paul actually, this is during a podcast, and Paul says, how much does it cost to bake a tape? So we were thinking, what in my mind was we'd be sending it over to California or somewhere, to some laboratory deep in the desert, to have it sort of baked in some multi-million-dollar oven complex. And then the more we read about it, the more it became obvious that we could actually do it ourselves.
Okay, so we've got a 1/4-inch undated tape that has Hot Legs written on it. Can't tell you what that is.
So, yeah, track 1 is backing, 2 is vocals, so there's those. It's an Ampex, so that might be one of the ones we need to bake.
Yeah, I think you said you'd have to bake that one.
Yeah.
We've got an unknown, very heavy 2-inch tape that just says 10cc on the box. No track sheets, just the tape inside the box.
Oh my word. The tape looks like it's been used
it's probably been
to tie up hostages.
We asked both Graham Gouldman and Kevin Godley whether they remembered one of the items which we know we have, which is an advert that 10cc recorded for Revlon Natural Wonder eyeliner in 1976. And both of them didn't remember the first thing about it.
Here's the
da
da da.
So, on the side of it, it does say 10cc Revlon ad 3776.
Oh, the Holy Grail.
The reason why it's so important is for a couple of reasons. One is there is nothing really in the original 10cc archives because they released everything they recorded and they binned everything that they didn't need. And this has never been heard. This is something that people are aware of, but no one has ever found the ad that it was supposedly part of. So it's the last but one recording that the original lineup ever made, and it's right at the moment where the band is starting to fragment. Quite how they were functioning as a unit on July. We got a date on the box of July the 3rd. I mean, presumably as an advert, they probably could record it in one day. I'm assuming. I'm assuming it's going to be a relatively sort of simple, short piece. But that's the fascinating thing for me is where it sits in the chronology of the breakup of the original lineup.
We think that we've got to physically bake these tapes, and the reason for that is, according to the experts, is that back in the 60s and 70s, when a number of tape manufacturers started using a different chemical on their tapes, and this chemical was called a binder, and what it does basically is it acts like a glue that sticks those brown magnetic particles that you see on a tape, physically sticks them onto the plastic tape so that they don't all flake off. The trouble is that in time, this new chemical they started using gathers moisture from the air, and unfortunately the binder glue starts turning to mush and it goes all gooey and sticky, and this problem is called sticky shed syndrome, SSS. So yesterday I had my first go at actually physically baking a tape. So I took one of my old granddad's reel-to-reel things, so set the oven. Luckily it's got an accurate little temperature gauge, so banged this tape in and set the timer for 2 hours, and then was quite nervous about playing the tape. I thought, what if it's all melted? What if it's stuck together now? But it was absolutely fine.
This is Harwich, Parkston Heath. All passengers alight here.
I don't think we're going to melt our tape this evening, but I feel kind of 50% more confident, Rob, to be honest.
Well, we've been in touch with Roy Harrison, who is an audio engineer. He does lots of things, but he specialises also in restoring tapes that need to be baked in order to be played so that they don't lose their content and the material doesn't come off on the tape machine that they're played on. So we've been in conversation with him today. It started off rather simple because there was just one tape. Now there's 3 tapes. They all have a different set of rules. And now Roy can't actually join us at the studio, but he's promised very kindly he'll be on the end of the phone. So if we run into trouble, we shall ring the Roy Harrison hotline. Yes, we found another tape which we which we'd either forgotten about or weren't aware we were going to have, which is an Ampex tape, right, and it's also marked 10cc. We're just having a look at that tape now.
You may not be successful tomorrow with what you're trying to do, just bear this in mind,
Right.
Because you don't know whether that tape's baked enough. Do you know how long you've had it to tape bake for?
Well, we are going to bake it.
We're going to aim for 8 hours.
Yeah, that sounds like a good starting point, doesn't
Yeah.
it?
Right, let's see what we got.
Well, it's not liquefied.
No, it hasn't burnt my hands.
Is it warm?
Yeah, it's warm and toasty, but looks to be in one piece.
Oh, fantastic.
Our
So
first tape.
if we leave it to cool down for an hour.
Yeah.
The really exciting tapes we've got, the 24-track, the multitrack tapes, need to be baked for about 8 hours. And actually, I'm currently sitting in the sitting room. You can vaguely hear the oven whirring away in the background, and we've got something like 5 hours left for those multi-track tapes to hopefully not melt. The bottom one could be the bossa nova version of I'm Not in Love. I'm joking, obviously. Wouldn't it be so funny if it was something really stupidly rare? This is the moment, Rob. I know you don't care really, because you don't know what we're doing, do you?
I do care.
Oh God. So we are fumbling in the dark on this one. Paul will agree with me. Blimey. Hot. Peter's been very patient, kind of standing by and just nodding whenever we say, Peter, you're okay for us to cut this in half, or we can turn this on now, can we? You're perfectly fine if we melt it. You saw the way I treated those chips in the oven earlier on. Are you going to trust us? Sleep well, my babies.
Well, the pessimist in me says there'll just be lots of crackly hisses and nothing else, or they'll disintegrate. But I'm hoping for a 10cc track that I've never heard before.
There's the speed. There we go.
Yep.
So my guess is 7.5.
Yeah.
Was it on the box actually, the speed?
Don't see. Oh, 15.
15.
Ah.
Okay. Right. So a little bit of post production. What we'll do, we're going to play it back slow, and then I'll change the audio. Oh, okay. Well, that's okay. We've got Paul's parents' machine here. This is just one of those things we do. Right. Oh God.
So here we go.
Here we go.
Okay.
Oh, fantastic.
You didn't like it because you didn't think of it.
Yeah.
Comes to that doubling up part, cut off the key. Alright, so you can all get it from me. Take one can off when I do the voices.
The last recording that they made was of a song called People in Love. So Godley and Cream had wanted the gizmo to be the focus of the next 10cc record, and Stewart and Gouldman had other ideas, so it was agreed that Godley and Cream would spend some time at Strawberry Studios recording it as a solo project. So they'd started working on what was originally a demonstration record for the gizmo and got really into that.
And you can't quite put your finger on it at all.
Consequences. Will music ever be the same again?
And they'd been kind of forced a little bit out of that period. This was probably July 1976. For two 10cc projects. One is 10cc had been asked to support the Rolling Stones at Nebworth at the end of August. So they reluctantly stopped working on the project, went to play at Nebworth, and then the management had sort of said, you guys have been out of the public eye for a while, record a new single. And Eric and Graham had written People in Love, and Godley and Cream hated it. But they had a go at recording it, and that does exist as a recording, but that was the end of August, beginning of September 1976. But that was the straw that broke the camel's back. They kind of went away, came back, listened to it, and said that we can't carry on like this. So that was the final recording. And then 6 weeks before, they'd recorded this advert for Revlon Natural Wonder mascara, an American ad. I'm not sure whether it was a radio ad or a TV ad. How long it is, what it sounds like, but it's the penultimate recording by the original band.
Don't hang up. Don't hang up. Don't say.
I'm a musician and a music lover. In fact, I love records. I've got thousands of LPs. Still got all my tapes from when I was a teenager, all those TDKs. So for me, having the physical product is a huge thing. As Paul knows, Paul's he sold his soul to the devil now, to Spotify, which is great. And Spotify's been so useful for research and things like that. But for me, having a record is a marvellous thing. So the prospect of going into a recording studio with all the vintage gear, having a physical thing that was recorded by 4 of my heroes is just unbelievably joyous.
Rene in Salford has got a 24 track machine that's all nicely calibrated and ready to go. So the plan is, once the tape is prepared, we're going to put it on the 24 track machine, make a digital copy immediately so that the contents of the tape are safe, and do a rough mix at the same time, and fingers crossed we'll be able to hear exactly what's on that tape.
Yeah, the importance of the tape for me is that we're uncovering a hidden gem in the 10cc archive, a very, very rare gem. And it's really exciting to hear, after 44 years in cold storage, what's on that tape.
I can't wait. I can't wait for the excitement of unravelling that cooked tape, threading it through the machine, checking that the machine isn't set to record and that it's playing only, and then pressing play. And I tell you, I've had sleepless nights with the excitement of that. I can't wait. I absolutely can't wait. Yeah, so this is it. This is where history's made, Rob.
So what I've done over the last couple of days is try to set up the desk so that the minute we put the tape on, we push play, we push record on the machine, and then we start recording straight away. We'll load the tape on and we'll play it. I'll hit record on the computer, and then that'll capture each track individually. And then after that, once we've got that, if that's a success and it works, hopefully it will, then
we can mix it from the digital.
Yeah, Paul said that there's another tape as well.
Yeah.
So what I would probably be inclined to do is just try and capture that tape again with the same process, and then whichever tracks you want to work on, that's fine. And then they'll be in the digital domain, and you can just mix them down as you want.
My heart's going.
I would imagine. More times. I'll have to figure out where.
It's
half speed.
Yes, it's half speed. Yeah.
Is it? Okay, so let's just stop that.
It's like blue. It sounds like Bluebird.
Yeah, the riffs are very similar.
This is song 1 on the tape for
this is
Survivor.
Guitar.
Yeah.
Yep.
Graham guitar.
Track 2.
That's a mix.
Yeah, it sounds like a final mix.
No, it's not, is it?
That's track 5. I don't know what you want to call that.
Bass. Chorus bass.
7.
Arpeggio guitar.
8. Same.
That's beautiful guitar part.
It is.
When I heard Survivor in that control room, it was absolutely monstrous. It was, some things we never forget, do we?
Yeah, exactly.
Wanna let my feelings soar. Help me find a key to my prison. I've waited long enough to be free. I love you, but I'm not really living. It's not how I want it to be.
Simon Phillips.
Track 3 kick drum. Track 4 snare. Track 5 overhead. Track 6 overhead. Sorry, track 5 hi-hat. Track 6 hi-hat as well. Track 7 overhead. No. I would say track 5 is a hi-hat, and then 6 and 7 are overhead left and right actually. Yeah. 8 bass. 9 guitar. 11 vocals. These versions again for 12. This is 11 and 12. Yeah, that's 12. Nothing for 13 yet. That's 17. 18. 19. That's 21, another sync. Another sync on 22. Yes, it is. I don't think there's anything else. 22. Well, they might have recorded it like that, so it might be synth and guitar.
Tapes rolling.
Yeah.
Wow. That was a move playing the kick drum sound, I reckon.
Sound like the I'm Not In Love kick drum
Yeah,
and the
yeah.
Brand New Day piano part.
Yes.
Yes, the arpeggio was spot.
Yeah.
Good God. The sound quality sounds tip top to me.
Yeah. 4 and 5. Electric piano, but
It might come in later.
Could be, yeah.
Oh. That's like Consequences.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Ooh.
Too good for an advert.
Yeah.
I know. That bit of choppy stuff from Graham there, I reckon. That 80 quid, what was it, 140 quid oven that did the trick.
oh, you gotta love that.
Sounded like Eric's vocal, didn't it there?
I don't know,
It
was it
sounded Kevin to
I thought
me.
it was
Really?
Kevin, yeah.
I'm not taking it in. It's just too much. This
Wow.
is exceptional.
As nothing like I expected it to be.
Yeah, what did you
I
expect?
don't know.
I thought it would be like the Dr. Pepper ad.
Yeah.
That's what I was
Yeah,
expecting.
Yeah.
If there was anything on the tape at all.
Exactly. Yeah.
But they finished it,
Yeah.
didn't they?
Spot
It's
on.
a full arrangement.
Why was it never used? That's the question.
It is a bit too good, isn't it?
Too good.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But why did everyone not know about it as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder if it was actually sent to them. I mean, it probably was.
Is this tape just a figment of our combined imagination?
Sell it to
We're
them.
in some kind of
Offer
alternate
them, offer it to
universe.
them.
And then when you're ready to mix it, just mix it down to 1 and 2 there. So we'll reassign everything to 1 and 2 there, and then we'll fade those left and right. That kind of stuff.
Okay. What a joy. So, backing vocals there. Just say when, Rob.
Dream a dream of far-off places, gentle makeup, petal faces, shifting winds, morning flowers, kiss your face with April showers. Mirror, mirror, you don't lie, every day's a natural wonder, young skins younger.
Natural Wonder, oil-free makeup made with pure fresh water. It's by Revlon, isn't it?
Oh, God.
Wow. That is amazing.
Jesus. I see another Indiana Jones movie coming up here.
Man.
Indiana Jones and the Revlon commercial.
It sounds like you singing, Kev.
It can't. What year was this?
No, it's 1976. It's definitely Eric singing the lead vocal and Kev doing the voiceover at the end.
Do you know what? If it wasn't, I counted it in.
Yeah, we recognise your voice, Graham.
Honestly, and I'm really good at remembering stuff.
Yeah.
I don't really remember this.
Fake
Wow.
news. Deep
Do you,
fake.
Kevin?
It's a deep fake. If it was done in 1976, we were off somewhere else doing something else. It can't be 76 because we were recording Consequences in 76.
This is July 76. Yeah.
So how can that be?
Well,
it's a fake. It's a fake.
It's not a fake.
Do you know something? I'm serious here. This is very odd for me because I've spoken to you enough about things in quite detail.
Sure.
I sort of anticipated some of the chord changes, but it's a bit of a mystery to me, I have to admit.
Okay.
That's amazing because, Graham, the end part, especially where you've got the lovely kind of passing chords and some really lovely kind of changing bass notes. They've got the Gouldman trademark, I think. How odd that you don't remember it?
It does sound like an Eric song, doesn't it? The melody, and he's doing the lead vocal, but
and maybe the lyrics as well.
It's
who did the voice at the end? Who does the dialogue?
That's Kevin. It says on the tape actually Kevin voiceover.
It is Kevin. Okay.
It's me doing the voiceover.
It is. Can I play?
Do you remember that, Kevin? Where were we?
We must have been very stoned. That's all I can say. It's quite pretty. And a bit of a waste on a fucking Revlon commercial.
Yeah. And obviously we've used, the brief has been, we want I'm Not in Love as much of the, with the voices and the bass drum sound, etc.
Yeah.
But that is a real mystery to me.
But do you like the track, chaps?
Do you what?
Do you like the track?
No.
It's a bit simpering, isn't it?
Right.
Yes, it's a bit twee. But then again, it's for Revlon. It's an advert for Revlon. So what do you want? Metal?
What's weird is I agree with you. It is a bit twee and simpering, and if they want 10cc, then we would have done a better job somehow.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Counting was outstanding.
Yeah, I wish I could have dropped in 3 again. That sounds that's got to be low.
Yeah, it sounds like Don't Hang Up or somewhere in Hollywood.
Definitely Lowell's play.
Yeah. Graham Lowell again, presumably.
Yeah, Lowell, definitely.
Definitely you, Graham, yeah?
Definitely me. Nice. I love that sound.
Yeah.
Not one of your most challenging bass lines, Mr. G.
Dream of far off places, gentle makeup, petal faces, with shifting winds and morning flowers. Kiss your face with April showers. Mirror, mirror, you don't lie. Every day's a natural wonder. Young skins younger.
I don't remember the dog on the track.
Sorry about that. It's just.
But you know what? I like it. It's much better with the dog.
Yeah, it's better vocal. Better vocal, I think.
Does that mean he is an Eric fan or isn't an Eric fan?
It's a very late overdub. I'm sorry about that.
Can I hear it again?
Yeah, of course.
Maybe
Why is it so difficult to tell? Because Eric's voice is distinctive, Kevin's voice is distinctive as well.
I think it's because we're not used to hearing Eric in falsetto. Could be that.
Yeah.
Right.
There is a certain characteristic
And
of
I'm not
his
100%.
that's there. Maybe it is.
Maybe it's one of us doubling it. Maybe it's me all doubling at some point.
I can hear your voice in there, Kev. I can hear your voice somehow. Yeah.
Natural wonder.
Stunning, eh? Now we reckon that's Kevin, Graham, and Lowell.
Yeah, that might make sense
Yes.
because Eric might be engineering and we just track that up by God knows how many times.
Natural Wonder, oil-free makeup made with pure fresh water. It's by Revlon, isn't it?
It's by Revlon, isn't it? Who the fuck is
That's
that?
not one of us. It's by Revlon, isn't it?
Yeah.
Isn't it?
There you go, there's proof.
Yeah, sounds exactly like it.
That's what I want to know. Maybe,
A lot of money, I
why
should
did
think.
we do this? Did they pay us a huge amount of money?
Yeah, I guess.
Money.
Do you remember?
Money or loads of free make?
Yeah,
it's a free makeup.
I don't remember anything about this. Free makeup for life. I never got any bleeding books to go. I think probably what was happening as we did with vocals in those days, I was out in the live area and they were all against the glass, pushing their faces against the glass, taking the piss. While I was doing it. That's probably what happened. And we probably all tried it. And
then
I
we
was the
go,
unlucky bastard who
go,
got to get it used.
then we go, next.
Next.
Yeah.
Exactly. Next.
Here's the thing. Who wrote it?
Well,
Who wrote it?
Good question.
It's a good question, isn't it? Because maybe it was someone outside the band that wrote it.
To us, or to me, it sounds like an Eric thing, and even the lyrics sound like Eric.
Yeah.
I don't know whether, I know you were probably presented with a certain brief, but to me, it sounds like an Eric melody and Eric lyrics. That's just my gut
yes,
feel.
I agree. But, Graham, I think the ends part with the changing piano chords sound like you.
Yeah, I agree.
Maybe the lyrics were supplied to you.
Yeah, I would think they would have been.
Yeah.
I think a couple of years later, Graham, if you remember that you guys did the Dr. Pepper ad.
Yeah,
Remember,
now
which
that I
wasn't really
remember. I remember that really well.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
drink Dr. Pepper and I'm proud.
Yeah, there you go.
It was someone else, wasn't it? I don't know whether that's Randy Newman or someone written that. It was.
Yeah. Yes.
I'm still mystified why we would come in on a Saturday to do this. Maybe we made an offer we couldn't refuse.
That makes it, the mystery deepens.
It does, doesn't it? Yeah.
It does.
It's
yeah,
great,
that makes
though,
sense.
isn't it?
It's great, yeah.
Yeah, interesting.
Oh, hello. How dare you?
Very good.
Dave, give us a thumbs up if you saw it. Okay.
Yeah.
Good man.
Okay,
great,
that's good.
great.
You can take the man out of marketing, but you can't take marketing out of the man.
Available very reasonably. Rocket88.com.
Take one and action.
Me, at age 21, doing my best Phil Collins.
Wow.
Genesis track.
More for me.
That's
Yeah.
the one, yeah.
This is the moment, Rob. I know you don't care really. You don't know what we're doing, do you? And, no. Don't go